was passed, the 52.7 trillion budget for the next financial year. And well, our focus today is on the agricultural sector. But I didn't mention after the break, we shall be looking at the issue to do with the genetically modified organisms, something that we kick-started off with our morning call today. And Maria will be giving us her side of the situation, why they're actually taking a case to court. And of course, it is already there. That will be coming on as we are summing up in our last 20 minutes of the discussion. Let's first of all, we'll get back to our budget for the agricultural sector. You see, I still feel that at times it is not easy for the farmers or the layman Ugandans to get to understand these budget allocations. Despite the fact that you will find all Ugandans glued on the screen during the presentation, ideally most of them don't even know how directly the budget allocations impact them, or even, they don't even feel anything. I don't know whether they lack the right information,
but you're wrong to say they don't feel anything.
No. Okay, they do feel. Okay, let me say they feel the impact once things don't go well. But most of them, at times, I want to believe they don't feel like the budget is people-centered as much. Now let's look at the agricultural sector. Our farmers deep down in the villages who are directly involved in this, at times we tend not to focus on their side of the story in our allocations. You've mentioned the fact that, first of all, the allocations are not even enough for the sector. Now we have a national budget that is coming up in July, kicking off. Where are our farmers going to? Where does this leave the farmers themselves?
I think we are looking at the local government. Yes. The local government will collect from them.
Yes.
That's how it affects them. Those markets that all the farmers bring their goods and they collect dues from them. And we are now looking at how this budget will affect them. The inputs, when you tax the inputs highly, then it will affect the price with which the local farmer will buy those inputs. You are looking at fuel. Yes? Fuel is far different. You see there may not be a connection between fuel and a farmer. But the transportation of those goods, we are looking at improving feeder roads. Yes? The transportation of those goods will also determine the price. When there are those dealers who come to the gardens, the dealers will tell you, your farm is very far, the road is very poor, but this budget will directly impact on the price of your rice, the price of your maize, because the budget there, but it's because we are not really, the farmer will say, to whom it concerns, it's not my money, but it's their money. It's their money, though they do not see this impact that comes with the indirect taxes. The indirect taxing also impacts on them dearly. The produce that is sold, then the price in which the pricing of the dues they're supposed to pay in the markets will also affect them, because the person who goes to pick the crops will tell them, I have to pay this due in the market, now you can't sell me at this price. Then they will extort them, even if that due is not that as high as they are telling them. There's that extortion that happens because of this ignorance of whatever happens. I think it's high time we all wake up and know that whatever is going on, the budgeting, the allocations will affect us deeply, deep down in our villages. And we need to look at our people directly.
Okay. Now let's turn our focus on the GMOs. Our morning after this morning was relating to the CSOs filing a case in court in regards to the use of GMOs. First of all, let's first trace back. How do we come to this?
Okay. 3rd November.
Yes.
Yes. Kenya.
Okay.
Passed it that the lifting
Yes.
of the ban, because they had banned the use of GMOs in Kenya. Then they claimed, after looking at everything, after consultations, now they are lifting the ban because of hunger. But we are looking at lifting the ban in Kenya, and we are looking at you, Kenya, being a member of the East African community. As members of the East African community, we have those porous borders. You are lifting the ban on GMOs in Kenya. You are not informing us. It is your duty as Kenya and your obligation as Kenya to also inform the partner states that this is going to happen. Yes? You have not involved the citizens. You sit as a cabinet and lift the ban on the importation use of GMOs in Kenya, for which the GMOs, there are very many uncertainties surrounding GMOs. Yes, the uncertainty surrounding health, because it's a very hectic thing. The health issues have not yet been put out because they are investigating its impact, because it's a long term. It may be a long-term thing, because when you eat something, it is likely to change your genetic makeup, you as a person. And we are now looking at Kenya lifting the ban on the use of GMOs, and now how it's going to affect Uganda. This is we have porous borders, whereby if you are a Samia, yes, you can have a relative who stays in Kenya, or you can even have a garden in Kenya, yet you stay in Uganda. Meaning, if you want to use that GMO, which has been approved in Kenya, yet not approved in Uganda, because Uganda, we are still fighting against them, which is not approved in Uganda, you don't need anything. You just need to carry your GMO in your paper bag, or even in a small vera. Then you cross to the other country, you sell your seeds. Kenya did not view that we have porous borders whereby people, there is no need for checking whether what you've brought in is good. We are one country, yes, whereby anything can pass. We are relatives.
Yeah. And
now, those GMOs, when they will come into our country, we are looking at the problem. We are our understanding is we are supposed to provide food security for our people. And food security starts with the rural farmer. Yes?
Yeah.
The rural farmer has rights, the right to grow whatever they want. But you're looking at a GMO whereby this GMO, the person to grow it, you're supposed to first buy a royalty, or you're supposed to buy it from a company, which company is going to price it highly. Yes. Then when you buy a GMO, you plant it once. For lack of a better word, let me use the word katemba.
Okay.
This katemba of we Ugandans, you want to save your seed. Then after that season is over, you plant that same seed. You say, this season I've planted this, then I harvest, I store, I replant. No, it doesn't happen that way for GMOs.
No.
You are supposed to buy once, plant, harvest, then that season is done. You need to go back to the same person, to the multinational company, to buy that seed, then plant, harvest, pay the royalties, whatever enumerations, then sell your crops. Then that's another season. Yet with our indigenous crops, We are looking at me planting. If in case I don't have, when I buy, I'll plant maybe half of it. Then also plant the half in the next season. Or plant the entire of it, harvest, store, sell some, then store some for replanting the next season. Those are rights for the rural farmers, for which with GMOs they do not apply.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, and also you've back to the issue to do with cases. You want UCC to explain why it allows advertisements of GMOs. Is it right?
For the cases it's in the Court of Appeal.
Okay.
We were looking at the there's this peak time for all TV stations.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't want that. What we wanted is they should stop advertising during the peak time.
Okay.
Because that peak time we have children watching. They'll view as the sugar sweetening beverages as the best option.
Okay.
Yes. Instead of them eating the healthy food, the health diets, they will resort to the sugar sweetening beverages. So what our case is preventing those like advertising during the peak time and removal of the sugar sweetening beverages in school canteens, so that people enjoy the normal drinks, the juice, passion fruits, from like the homemade, all the made just without the sugar sweetening beverages, because they affect them, and those sugar sweetening beverages, they have an effect. They cause obesity, increase in weight, so that increase will lead to overweight. So you get the problems that arise with overweight. You are likely to get pressure, high blood pressure, and those cardiovascular diseases. You find that child, she has the insulin is very high because of the feeding, the unhealthy diets, which we really advocate for. The companies are really advocating. It's part of their marketing. They will put their marketing during the peak time, yes, because they want to attract that market. However, it's affecting the children. They have no choice, because what comes to their eyes, it's what they want to consume. That's why we put in that case. But the good thing, the Ministry of Health is putting out regulations. They're in the pipeline, and it's our prayer that they are put out very fast, because people's health does not wait. Because they want the regulations regulating the unhealthy diets and regulating all the advertising. Yeah, they're going to put out regulations soon. But for us, our prayer is that they come out soon, because these children are a population. It's one of the biggest populations, the young population, and it's being affected, and we need to protect them. And the government has an obligation, yes, under the assessor, to protect and to fulfill people's rights. They need to protect them, and they need to protect their children for the incoming generation.
Well, and as we are summing up with our discussion here, the national budget is ahead of us, 2023, 2024.
Yeah.
Oh, 52.7 trillion budget. We had budget cuts, no room for supplementary budgets in the next financial year.
What is that?
I want to, from your own opinion, in your final remarks, what is your view on the budget itself, generally? And then your take on what we should look forward for in the next financial year. Do you think it's going to be a roller coaster ride, or an easy ride for us, or some shockers are expected? But then, in just 2 to 3 minutes as we're summing up.
I think, as Ugandans, we need to wake up. We need to work hard, because the 52 million is on us now. 52 trillion, it's on us now. We need to finance that budget. If the other people are not helping, or the indebtedness is even too much, now we shall even get another debt, but we need to finance all those debts. Now we need to wake up and work hard as Ugandans, because this budget, it's the priority areas are not what we really deserve. The priority was not given to what we deserve. Health, agriculture, those are the things we really deserve. We are looking at school-going children whom they are telling parents should not contribute to their feeding. However, the budget does not provide for school-going children to be fed at school. What do you expect? As a parent, look forward to feeding your child.
Okay. That's something you actually say. Well, I think the parents will take that as more seriously and not lightly, feeding the children. Okay. It does depend, though. But 3 meals a day maybe should be prioritized, I should say. But the economy is really tough. Well, our business inside now comes to an end. I've been having Kagoya Maria Teresa, who's who's a legal officer for Center for Food and Adequate Living Rights. Our discussions were really huge on the agricultural sector, but of course we also focused on the GMOs, why you need to worry more about that, and why you need to worry more about that, and of course why parents need to keep the entire picture of their children in regards to the GMOs. Remember, with the ever-rising social media uptake now, it is something that we really need to be very vigilant with. The supervision needs to be necessary. But of course, our discussions are also looking at the appropriation bill for the agricultural sector, mainly with the fact that we have a program-based budget come next financial year, a 52.7 trillion shillings budget that is supposed to be funded by us, the taxpayers, who are the Ugandans. You've been watching Smart Means Business. The show kicked off at 6:30 a.m. in the morning till 6:50, and of course I was with Andrew Beridia and Masi Katsimi as usual, before I was joined in by Maria Teresa here to discuss more about the business insight in relation with the national budget for the agricultural sector. But as we're signing out now, remember to be part of the ever-growing world of investment with the Zabu platform. *292# is the USSD code that you should definitely use to kickstart off your investment with the platform. Zabu says my money, my future, and it's powered by Altec East Africa, which says do something new. Remember, when you're kickstarting off your investment journey with Zabu, all you need to do is register with your national identification number, and then you'll be good to go with the platform, which is Zabu. Now, the markets on the platform open at 8:15 a.m. Closing time at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Please do know that these markets are fully closed during the weekends and on public holidays. Zabu, my money, my future, and Altec East Africa says do something new. Well, you're still watching Smart 24 television. GOTV is channel 320, DSTV is channel 372, and also on free-to-air decoders. For all of you who've missed the show and you want to catch up, you can go into our YouTube channel, Smart 24 TV. The Twitter handles is Smart 24 TV now. Please share with us everything to do with business. Instagram, smart24_TV. For more, the website is www.smart24.tv/news for both local and international real debt and real-time business updates. Coming up at 10 o'clock will be Financial Markets with Anthony Sebale. Then later on will be Yugi Tukole with Monica Nabionga, and together with Hassan Duga to give you more details in regards to the business atmosphere within downtown Kampala and beyond. Good morning. Till tomorrow.